Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Joined by the ever so great Mr. Adam Matic. If you ain't seen his channel, FUTV, I thought it was a green screen in his background. But if you type that in on YouTube, you might find it or in the description below, or let alone in the title. We're going to be talking about Manchester United versus Liverpool. How do you even get a 20-minute discussion or 15-minute discussion telling you guys how we're definitely going to get a point out of this game?
Well, honestly, mate, all you can do is I can remember when Ten Hag last played at Anfield, and we were all saying doom and gloom. I mean, I
Oh, yeah.
even went and did the watch along on Anfield Agenda, thinking I was just going
Yeah.
to be in for it, thinking I was just going to be absolutely slagged upon. Do you know what I thought? If I'm going to go down, I'll go down actually slagging them off and telling them that they're probably going to blow it anyway. And we ended up getting a 0-0 draw, mate. So
The
it's
one
like,
where Delo got sent off at the end by Michael Oliver.
yeah, that's the one that everyone's kicking off about. I mean, it's bad enough having to play Liverpool with 11 men, but now they've got an extra man and a 12th man on the pitch as well. I mean, we are doomed, aren't we, mate?
Is it Michael Oliver refereeing this Sunday?
Yes, mate.
Yeah. Well, I would say we like to. I'd like to say that we've lost or there's a red card pending, but I mean,
Definitely.
I can't stand that geezer. I swear on my life.
Mate,
But
honestly, you know what? I don't like Di Maria because of what happened, but I'm still pissed off with Michael Oliver after he sent Di Maria off for tapping him on the shoulder. You remember that one years
oh
back?
yeah, yeah, oh yeah,
God,
he
and
did,
then
didn't he?
then
Yeah,
Joe Hart went and gave him a kiss on the cheek and didn't get nothing for it.
I
Honestly,
remember.
mate.
I remember that one. Di Maria, you know, it's funny. White kit, isn't it? The away kit, the one where Juan Mato scored I don't know
Wanfield.
what to call it. Wanfield, yeah. And then you must have been seeing all this other stuff as well with Rashford, staying, all of a sudden ready to fight for his place or attitude is shown to be
Garbage.
impeccable in and around the training ground, etc., like your model professional should do. Chris Wheeler's definitely in the pocket of PR at the moment. And then there's other news saying that, Antonio Conte wants him, potential swap with Osimhen, all of this stuff, yada yada yada. PSG apparently playing down. I think it came out this morning. They played down the transfer for Rashford, but then there was something last night saying along the lines of if everything is correct, the wages, the transfer fee, etc., yada yada, then they'll go in for him. And that's
Yeah,
coming, and that's coming from England rather than it is
well,
coming
it's
from
like
France.
what was it like the most respectable journalists have come out and said that PSG will go for Marcus Rashford if the price is right, they can afford his wages, and the player wants to come to him. It'd be like, hang on a minute, like, isn't that just the basics of every single transfer? Like, you'd want that to be going on with anyone, wouldn't you? So yeah, of course he's going to bleed and go if that works out for PSG. But honestly, right now, I think with it, when you look at all the reports, mate, no matter which one you want to read into, I don't believe him. I don't believe this impeccable behaviour and how the United staff have been impressed with how he's behaved since he's been dropped. I mean, he was dropped at City, and then 4 games later, he's still not been on the pitch. So clearly, that's a lie. And people that I've spoke to in and around Carrington and people that I know, everyone hates him, mate. That's what
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
told. There was no one that likes him in there. So again, I think it's a PR push, but I think even Man United are probably trying to push this out to make it look like you can actually sell someone who's not an issue. We've got to think on that side as well, haven't we? Because no one's going to buy a problem child, and that's what we've got right now. But if we could
Yeah.
actually, get the player out. I mean, I'd take a loan with obligation right now. I
I
don't know
think
about
that's the
you. I just
most
want it gone.
it's the most realistic situation. I don't think no one comes in and buys him straight away, only because it's January. They're probably looking at other positions. I reckon other clubs look at Rashford as an opportunity. And if that's an opportunity to push the summer, I'm taking 25 million. I don't care. Do the same thing with Sancho. Just get rid in the end. Like, to be fair, in hindsight, I don't wish we got rid of Sancho. We playing 2 10s. And in
Mm.
one of those spaces, like, oh my god, he would have been perfect. But in the same breath, Rashford's no better than Sancho. So why should we accept anything more than 25 million?
Well, that goes back to that team that Gary Neville was picking up. Like the team that Ollie left is miles better than the one that we've got now. And we said that Ollie's team was the worst team that we've ever seen. He was going on about Ronaldo, going on about Bruno, Rashford, and Sancho being the front four. Well, I don't like Sancho, don't like Rashford. Bruno's debatable at the moment amongst the fan base, and Ronaldo down tools on the team. Yeah, you can never question the quality of the players, but that's the same scenario now, and we're
Yeah.
not getting anything out of these players. So honestly, like everyone's got their own opinions on it, but I just feel right now, let's deal with the issue that's there now. He just needs to be out of Amorim's way, mate. That's it for me. Just get him out, and then we'll deal with him in the summer. So loan him, get him gone, do whatever deals you can do, sell whatever you can to get whatever player in. I mean, if we get Osimhen in a swap, that's just like all Christmases come at once. It really is.
Yeah, but how desperate are they to First and foremost, would Osimhen want to come to Manchester United? That's one
Yep.
big thing. Two,
Yep.
does Rashford want to go Napoli under Conte? That's another one, because this guy sounds picky. He's apparently rejected 3 offers from Saudi, so he clearly doesn't want to go away from Europe.
Yeah.
So that's fine in itself. I don't mind that. And then I think the last one is, does Napoli truly want Rashford? Like, why would they want him?
Apparently, Conte is a big fan of Rashford's. He likes him. He fits his system because he can play wide with, obviously, Lukaku being his main front man. So he's got that pace out wide. And I don't know if Kvaratskhelia is going to be sold in the summer by them to fund another rebuild for Napoli. I don't know. They're chasing the title. Maybe you could give him a push over Atalanta in the title race in Serie A. But right now, Osimhen to United, I feel like for some reason, I'm like you, it's like, would he want to come when you're looking at everything? But United do have this strange law to get players in, even when we're crap, like players still want to come here. I've never understood it. But then again, from the outside, United do have that sort of appeal still to a lot of players. And it's the only thing I looked at, I'm reading into it, mate, was Napoli don't want to deal with Osimhen in the summer because Juventus would be favourites to take him. And they don't want to directly strengthen a rival in Serie A. So if there's any deal to be made in January, they will jump all over it. That's what I've read anyway. So
talking to Juve, the Xerxes stuff is really heating up. And it's up to Manchester. Apparently, allegedly, it's up to Manchester United. So that whole, I was speaking with Alice yesterday. I'm saying Xerxes to Juventus, like the whole Thiago Motta Bologna, getting Xerxes in, someone that's a bit different to Vlahovic, kind of makes sense. It probably makes sense for Xerxes, especially after coming off after 30 minutes, you saw the reaction, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really worked. I don't think he's going to suit what Amorim wants long term.
No.
But I feel like this one could be definitely sanctioned if Rashford goes one way as well. And I think that, again, I think Xerxes would be another one with a loan with an obligation to buy. I don't think they buy straight away in January. I saw one thing. If we loan them one way, why don't we go and get Douglas Luiz?
Well,
unknown.
This is where you've got to be clever. This is where everyone's now focusing on Ineos. They've cut corners, they've upped prices, they've made a mess of everything that they've done in the first year right now. The only way that they can rectify anything is like what they did in the summer, where it looked like we had a decent window. We got players in at reasonable prices. The transfers weren't that bad, barring Xerxes, probably. And now everyone's like, well, you've done this. And we're now looking at what's the name, aren't we? We're now looking at possibly trying to, let's just say, balance the books a bit by bringing in some players and getting rid of these players that are on stupid amounts of money. But Xerxes, the only worry I've got, mate, is that you've got Mount who's out till March. Rashford's not playing. Garnaccio's not flavour of the month. Xerxes can't do it. Ahmad's better at wing back right now. There's no one else. Højlund's not cutting it up front on his own. Needs a better partnership or better tens behind him to work. It comes down to it a little bit that we have to be careful that we've actually got players to put out on the pitch, because we've already got players out of position all over the place, mate. And it's even taught that Mainu may be pushed into that 10 role now, pretty much where he was when he was in the academy.
Please. And he's, I've been saying it for ages, in the half spaces, it's probably his most suited to. He's naturally a winger he first came up as a winger. That's why he's so tidy with it on the left-hand side. You see how he dribbles into the box? My whole part is just holding the ball up in the second phase, let alone the final third, or back to goal. Do you know what I mean?
His goal output. Look at him. Look at his famous goals that he scored. Look at the Wolves one. Look at the Liverpool one. Look at the City one. Look where he's come from. 10. He naturally arrives at that time. And I watched his full pre-season, his full season in the under-21s before he got promoted. I was on the tour. He got injured against Real Madrid. Ten Hag had him earmarked in, and he was 10, mate. He was a 10. He always played as a 10 in the youth. 8 and 10, but predominantly 10. That's his natural position. And we know he hasn't got the legs to get up and down like a Bruno or an Agate. I think, you know what? If you're struggling for 10s and you want a bit of creativity, you want a bit of, like you said, then quality on the ball in tight spaces, then that sort of suits him well. The only thing is that people did bring up was like the pressing intensity that Amorim wants from his 10s. Maybe he hasn't got the legs to get across quickly enough. I'm clutching at straws there a bit, but I would definitely. I don't like Bruno in at 8. To be honest, I'm not really convinced about him at all at the moment.
Just how it really is. You just say how you really feel. You
Yeah,
don't like Bruno. I don't like Bruno.
no,
I
I
think
like him, mate. I
I
like
don't,
him.
I can't stand. I
I
can't
know.
stand him. Grenade football. You can't. The Hollywood passes. You can't evade anyone. Runs with a parachute on. He has got creativity in his game. Don't get me wrong, but what do you even class as a big chance? Got Statman Dave doing up the PR prop, gets on my nerves. Like, who's a better creator than you? Oh, I just can't. I can't. I just don't look at him thinking you are not great. You should not be here past next this summer coming up for me personally. But
This
he's the
is the
least. He's the least of our problems, in my opinion.
exactly. That is that. It's just like a list, and there's a pecking order, isn't there, on that
Yeah,
list
yeah, yeah.
of what is necessary, what's not. And do you know what? Like, we need an 8. Edison is the man in the summer, by all accounts. I would
Yeah.
jump through hoops, flaming hoops, to get that man in. He is everything that we
Apparently been
need. And
working on it since the summer.
yeah,
That's the
no,
deal.
since last summer, mate, we were looked. They just couldn't get. United would have bought him in the summer, but they
Just didn't have the funds.
Atalanta could not get a replacement in time when we went in. So if we get him next to Agate, there's your midfield sorted. Then you can pick and choose where you want to play Bruno for the next year. And I think he'll be gone after that. I think he's got one more season being used and utilised wherever. But I do think he will be moved on eventually, and we'll get another. I think we need
Angel
both wing
Gomez.
backs. We need both wing backs. We need a 9. We need a 10. We need an 8. They're the priorities.
We need a squad.
Coming.
We need a first 11.
Exactly. You know what, you said it there though, Kaz. Like 11. Like, concentrate on players. If you're going to bring anyone in, they have to go right into the first team. If you're going to spend money that we haven't got a lot of, buy players that are going to start, and then we'll deal with the squad after that. Maybe the academy can fill in some gaps.
I agree.
Get proper players.
I know there's lots of talk of Angel Gomez because he's on a free. Then there's Cunha. That's another one. You pretty much sorted out your left hands, let alone or even right if you really wanted to. Angel Gomez in the 8, I probably wouldn't fare for that, but I wouldn't look past it. But regardless of if we go back to the Rashford stuff about the Osimhen, you take out Rashford and bring in Osimhen. But I think it still comes down to, are we going to create enough for him?
Yep.
I look at Osimhen as the guy that's going to create his own luck, his own chances. But we don't even utilize his best qualities, which is probably aerially, I would say, and obviously finishing. And I'll say in the air is something that we lack anything coming from wide spaces. And it's like there's no point going to get an Osimhen if you don't go and get yourself a quality wing back. I keep saying, I know we want Nuno Mendes. I don't think it happens this January. We will say depending, but I say the easiest deal for United right now is Alvaro Fernandez because it's a buyback clause. It's easy to deal with, and you can get him in quickly. And that's and I said even the last part is, does Alvaro want to come back when he's doing so well at Benfica at the moment? When they're thriving, they're doing well. Well, they're not doing as well as the next teams, but there's an opportunity now because Sporting's fallen off a cliff. Get yourself a title. You know what I mean? So
you've got that, mate. And then like you may be thinking like, how long are United going to be in the wilderness? Bayern Munich are interested in him. Obviously, we are finding out now that Alphonso Davies is going to sign a new deal probably at Bayern now, so that sorts that out. But Bayern are watching the Alvaro situation. It'd be typical of Man United to not be able to get Alvaro back or not be able to afford him, and that's our buyback clause as well. We can't even afford that. But you're right in terms of Osimhen. Like, the only reason Osimhen comes in is because you're getting rid of Rashford in the same move. I fully think that's the deal right now, and United cannot turn that down. You're getting a quality striker in who is one of the best in the business, and you're getting rid of a headache. I do believe you probably want Gyökeres more, but we still have to get the priority. And like we said before, Rashford has to go. And then work on everything you possibly can. Get Casemiro out, Eriksen, Lindelof. Try and get something so you can put a down payment and get a wing back in to actually start
Casemiro goes, that opens up a lot of opportunities for me.
It frees up space on the wage structure. Obviously, you'll have a transfer fee, space in the squad, seniority. Honestly, that it does open it up. I think if we sold Casemiro, that money goes into the
and Eriksen. I don't see Eriksen leaving because I know there's lots of the Ajax rumors. They wanted him before, couldn't get him, whatever. I just don't see him leaving. Maybe now he does.
Get him for free. Yeah.
I mean, it's profit.
Mate, he's not even paying Luke Shaw's wages. He's not doing anything.
Oh, no, he's too busy making TikToks at Christmas parties and stuff like that, you know?
Things you don't want to see when you're down the dumps, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I personally don't care. I mean, but I've seen players of ours who are much better, who've been given a lot more crap from doing more simple things in life. But hey ho, Man United fan base. What do you reckon the actual likelihood Rashford? I mean, Osimhen does come this summer, this January though, because I'm still in this part zone where I'm thinking, even if you manage to get rid of Rashford, I don't think that solves our problems
No,
if we just go and get a striker all of a sudden.
no, no.
I'm not convinced by it. I don't think whilst we've got Xerxes still, and you obviously got Rashford going one way, I don't think Osman comes the other way. I've been thinking of getting rid of Rashford, thinking, cool, you got yourself 25, 30 million, whether it's loan with obligation, it doesn't matter. And you freed up a lot of wages, a good 15, 20 million. However, you lot are better than maths than me, right? Correct. So you go get yourself a wing back. But then there's the extra part is I'm looking at go get yourself a central midfielder of some sort, right? Because it has to, for me, it has to be like that. Unless you got rid of Xerxes, then you can go and get an Osimhen because you've already got two strikers in your books. You don't need a third one because now
I
you
mean, I
just
don't even see Xerxes as a 9, mate. Personally, I don't. I don't think he's a right. I don't think he's the right
don't see
fit.
him as a 10 either, though.
No, this is the problem. So he has to go. If he's not going to fit the system, this is what we're talking about with Cutthroat. It may seem a bit stupid that we've just brought him in and now he's leaving. But look, you made the decision to keep Ten Hag. You have to die on that sword. You are going to have to back
Yeah.
Ruben Amorim any way that you possibly can. And if Xerxes has to go, then he has to go. It's as simple as that. But I think, do you know what? Like Osimhen, 1 year left on his deal into the summer. He is going to go. He is going to leave. Why not just get him while you can if he wants to?
Yeah.
And you know what? You've got that piece covered and then you can build a team around him in the structure that you want and how he plays. Yeah, we may have to be patient again. I mean, most people are writing this season off at the moment. I still won't have that, not as a United fan, but I think Osimhen coming in, if you can get two players, to be honest, but going back to your question, do I think Osimhen will come in? I still think it's too good to be true. But I do see the legs in the fact that he's got 1 more year left. They don't want to sell to Juventus in the summer. And they would jump at a chance to get a deal done right now because that helps them prepare for their summer window even more. And United get rid of a problem. Honestly, there's a lot of things aligning with this that I won't say no to. And I love to see how it develops and if the conversation goes any further. But I still think loan with obligation for Rashford will be the end of him this window. I think something similar to what Dortmund did with Sancho, like you said at the start of the show, Kaz. And then I feel like our money, if we have got anything or any signing, will be on the left wing back this window.
Have to. I think that's the key area is the outlets for
Yeah.
me. Even if you can get two wing backs, change our fortunes a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like I know we all talk screaming midfield. I'm still in the camp. Please, I need to see a report Manchester United. I know they're probably
You
not
know what?
watching this, but I need to see Douglas Luiz loan deal, please. And bring his missus as well. She's not that bad. I said it yesterday. She's not that bad to look at either. Bring it to the women's. You know what I mean? There's some good milk.
Good milk.
Yeah.
With do you know what? With your midfield there, what you're saying, I like Douglas Luiz. I do. Honestly, I'd rather wait till the summer to get the right signing
But
for
would you not say
for the midfield.
Douglas Luiz is Premier League proven? He
I
done
know
really
he's.
well at Villa. And also that means, you know what that means for me personally? You push Manu up to the 10, and that kind of solves that short-term problem. And you've got a guard here in Douglas Luiz because he likes a player that can actually ping a ball as well. Spray it to the left and right. And I just think he fits that mold. If you're not in that system, take advantage of that opportunity. We know about United and loan deals. I still look at that way and think that's probably the easiest deal for me that United could do probably this January window in terms of opportunity. Maybe there should be an option to buy a non-obligation. So that could be one version. And I think they just want to recoup their money back, which is what, 30 million?
Yeah.
If that's the case, I think that's a brilliant deal. It doesn't mean you can't go and get Edison. Now you've just sorted loads of options in the middle. So if Agate, you'd want to rotate him, you've got Edison and you've got Douglas Luiz. So tit for tat, really, in my opinion.
Championship Manager's great game, isn't it?
I know, but this is actual realistic. Like this is for me, it's realistic.
We can see it.
Bit.
We can see it, mate. So they must be able to see it, and they must be working on something behind the scenes. They must be because there are options there, and everybody knows right now that you have to be clever in a transfer market. You have to, maybe bring loanees back and sell them on. Like this is what we did with Alvaro when we cocked it up last season. We bought him back from Granada to give him on loan to Benfica with the option. He didn't even meet that option, but Benfica's still seen the quality in him. I'm still bought him, and now look, like you have to be clever with what you're doing. But United have never been clever. I like the people we've got.
We have to give Ineos a fair couple windows, few windows to see what they can They can do
Yeah.
really. I think so. I think we got PTSD from John Murto and Richard Arnold and all the garbage beyond past them, like Ed Woodward. So I mean, that's all we got. I mean, I suppose that's the only evidence we can go off of, right? So
Yeah.
you're right. You're
Yeah,
right, to be fair.
It's miles better. It is, but I think patience has just ran out because they kept all the Ten Hag, mate. That literally is the biggest error
It
that they
is.
made, and it's scuppered everything good that they have done. Now, all anyone can see is the bad, because like if
Yep.
United are doing well, no one's talking about all of the things that they're cutting behind the scenes, everything else that's going on. No one talks about that. If United are doing well, everything runs well at the football club. But with us bottom half of the table, everyone's scrutinising everything right now. You know the score, mate. It happens with United when it's a big club. When things are going wrong, everyone jumps in. When things are going right, everyone hates us. Everyone's
Yep.
laughing at us and not hating us right now. That's the
It's
problem we've got. And we know it's going wrong when everyone's
It's even
laughing.
hard for me to come to Old Trafford, like thinking like, why am I going to spend as much money as I usually do to come somewhere
Trust me,
to
mate,
watch us
like
some garbage? You saw
sitting
I was
there.
there pretty much all the home games before in the first season. I come to quite a few in the second, and this one I was like, I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay Ratcliffe prices now. Like what, 66 quid for a ticket? That's
Empty
insane.
seats, mate.
Two
Empty
seasons.
seats.
Two
I did a
seasons.
video on it, mate. It's gonna hit their pockets eventually. Like you said, you cannot
Yeah.
charge that value when you're getting crap products. You're not gonna pay more for a product, are you? And it's not getting any better. And that's United. United is the brand. At the end of the day, the football has to be good, otherwise everything falls apart. And we're seeing that now.
Literally.
Football's crap, and the whole club's falling apart.
Yeah. Well, talking of falling apart, Sunday, it might just might get even worse. More than likely going to get worse. I don't know what the probability is that United could nick a point, let alone get a win, but we'd have to be the best.
Oh, mate.
The difference is a year ago we had Varane, at least, box defending. Something that we don't actually have at the moment is good box defenders, bar maybe Delict, I would say, and even then, question marks in some cases, and he's out wide. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got any hope. I don't know if you're going to the game. How you feeling for this one?
No, I'm not going to the game. Like I said, it's a horrible place to go to anyway.
Yeah.
Like my record going to Anfield and to Goodison Park is shocking. It really is, but I just don't like the place anyway. And it is going to be one of them. I think everybody knows that. Everyone knows we're probably going to get beat. Everyone's
Yeah.
accepting we're going to get beat. I think everyone's just looking at it for maybe a little bit of heart and performance. And you know what? Like what's been said, like United with Ruben Amorim have had a full week to train this week. First time since he's been at the club where he's had everyone in available. He's had best preparation he can possibly get. So let's see what comes out of it. Let's see. But like Liverpool, Arsenal, probably lose both of them games. And then we're looking at the 6-pointer against Southampton. Brighton's another tough one, and we've got to beat Rangers. I think the Europa League is where our focus needs to be because it's the only saviour really for the
I
season.
said the exact same thing. I said if there's one thing we can definitely win, and I think even for the players, it feels like even they probably feel they can win because it's not the Premier League, it's probably the Europa League. And all of a sudden, you find yourself, let's say, even 12th, 11th, or 10th, and you got Europa League on the back, and that's your little back door into Champions League with all the money, etc., etc. You really and truly, you're laughing. You're laughing as a in a hysterical way, thinking, I can't believe how we just done that. It's just like it's just like 8th in FA Cup. Oh, how did you just manage to win a trophy against one of the better teams in the league?
Yeah, well, that's it. And it's like everyone can laugh at us where we are in the league, and Wales go, well, we're still in the league. And oh, yeah, we're in the Champions League as well.
Trust me, when I
After
tell
what
you
we've
now,
done.
I would be the most shameless bastard ever. And it shouldn't be a celebration to the fact that because I'm in the Champions. Look how low our standards have fallen to the fact that we're celebrating that we're in Champions League. That's something we used to mock Arsenal for.
I mean, honestly, like people don't realize like how Manchester United standards were so high, or how they used to be so high. Like this is the unthinkable level right now, and what we're talking about now. What last season was like the doom and gloom. Like this club is falling apart, and that was 8th. Now we're in 14th. Like honestly, it's like they're allowing it to drop and drop and drop. And it's like I said when Ruben Amorim came in, and everyone clipped me up, and been battered from it. It's like we should be getting top 4. We have to be getting top 4, and then literally it's just been completely washed away. I've been embarrassed and obviously let down, which is no surprise by these players, but you still got to have hope and holding these standards up. And I think this is what Ruben Amorim is doing. he's holding these players accountable for their actions, where this wasn't happening before. And it's the only good thing to take from the situation we're in right now, that the players aren't getting away with it, because they're the ones that have just stayed there forever and a day and seen through manager after manager after manager. And now we've got a coach in who has outed every single one of them near enough, and there's nowhere to
In one way
hide.
or
And
another.
luckily, yeah, the ownership model is different, so we should see something different this summer. Our managers kicked off about a player, and in the end, we are going to get a backing from a board or a hierarchy above the coach, which is going to double down on it, and we will see action in the summer, or maybe even this January, like we've just discussed about players being kicked out.
Do you see us getting battered by Liverpool, by the way?
I
Like,
can, yeah.
I know a lot of people were saying the 7-0's coming back. I don't think it's going to be as cutthroat as that.
No.
But I see us getting an easy, like, another 3-0 loss or
I
something.
think like
I don't.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the individual quality part. For me, it's the individual mistakes, stuff like that. I wonder if he's going to get some balls and say, you know what, Lissandro, you can't be up against Salah this weekend. I need Mazraoui there. Or even, I don't know, Delict, Maguire, etc., etc. You're not going to throw Yor in a deep end in that situation. That would be pathetic from him, in my opinion. And then the wing backs, are you going to have balls enough to say, you know what, I don't want to fall back. I want to put Anthony there, even though he's not the solution. He's better than what we've got, you know?
Yep. No, I think Anthony can play a role. I said the other day, I think Anthony's more valuable than Marcus Rashford is to United right now. That's because he's wanted to put some effort in, but he's tenacious. He gets stuck in. Yeah, he was battered in that Spurs game a bit. He was left wanting, but I'm with you on the selection. It maybe just prove a point in doing something a bit different. Like, honestly, I don't like Maguire in there. I think the speed will kill him.
Talk about a new deal for him as well.
Yeah. God,
well,
no,
I think if you extend it,
that.
if you extend it, you can't actually excel him because the whole, you know, when he tried to leave beforehand, and they was asking for a certain fee like Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
So I can't see. I think Maguire just leaves anyways. I don't think he stays. I think he just leaves. I think for his own good and his own benefit. I don't see him staying.
Yeah, credit to him for what he did in turning it around a bit and being professional. But at the end of the day, he's not helping us right now. He's still part of the problem of the old regime, which has been failing for the last 5 years. So, yeah, it needs to move on. I mean, I haven't got a problem with Yoro playing, to be honest. I think he is a better one-on-one defender. And you know what? With the quality that Liverpool have got in them situations, I'd rather have him one-on-one defending than probably any of the other three.
Yep. Probably,
because they're all failing right now. Martinez needs a slap in the face. Just needs waking up, mate. It really does. I don't know what's going through that man's head at the moment.
I think it's just okay to say you're just struggling because you're struggling. It's as simple as that. Even if you look at his time at Ajax, even then they conceded a lot of goals, you know, like even with him at the back with Timber and whoever else it may be. So it's not like it's unknown, you know, but we still got him at the end of the day. What kind of midfield do you want to see? I've got one in mind, and I hope he does it, but I don't know if he does.
Yeah, honestly, Agate comes back in,
and instantaneously.
I mean, I've got Matt. I just feel like Mainu definitely is a 10. I'm putting him in. I just think that quality there. Obviously, Højlund up front, and then that's the thing. I don't want Casemiro in the side. I think he's just a live boy. I think he's a red card waiting to happen as well in this game. So I wouldn't play Casemiro. The shouts for Collier in there, but again, like
he's just come back. He's just come back from injury as well.
Ten Hag threw him under the bus, didn't he, in that first Liverpool game?
Do you reckon he gets some game time? He must get some game time, surely.
Yeah, with what's happening in the window and who's going to probably be going, I think we're not going to be able to bring in a midfielder because of everything we just said about the wing back and the striker maybe being priority. But I think Collier gets game time. I do, but there are shouts that he's going out on loan as well. And I'm thinking, like, if you want to sell Casemiro, you want to sell Eriksen, you want to loan out Collier. Like
that must mean someone. You must have some. I don't think they do unless someone's lined up.
Yeah, no. It's like I'm looking at it. Like loans are easy, aren't they, for younger players especially? Yeah. And Ruud wants him. We know that. So I'm probably going to end up with Bruno and Agate.
That's exactly in my mind.
Yeah, and then Mainu can drop in and help out as an extra in the middle, and then someone's going to have to work hard and support in the front line because I think he's going to go defensive again. I think he'll play Ahmad in 10, even though I prefer him at wing back as an attacking option. But then that means I'm stuck between Anthony and leading Ahmad for the other 10 role. I'd rather have Anthony at the wing back and have Ahmad up in 10. So
yeah, I've got two solutions in my mind. Is you could do the Agate, Bruno Fernandes, Mainu, and Ahmad, that probably works. And then you got Anthony on one wing, and then you probably put Mazraoui maybe on the other side, on the left-hand side. I think he's better left wing back. And then you can go and play. Maybe you do throw Euro in the deep end a little bit and put the Ligt on the other side, the left centre back. Or he could do this and be a little bit more different, a little bit more brave, which I don't think he's going to do. If you really want to shut up shop and you really want to help yourself in the air anyways, you got Casemiro and Agate, who I think both can work with each other. Then you've got Bruno and Bruno and Mainu in the tens, which again, it's not the greatest midfield, but then you've got Ahmad and Anthony in the wing back, which I don't want. Personally, I'm in the opposite. I think Ahmad's better than 10. I just don't think he's got anything around him to help him out. That's why I would want Anthony on that right-hand side, because at least then he's got a bit more of a runner or willing runner that gets beyond him. Where if you've got Mazraoui, he doesn't technically get too beyond him. And if he does, it's more of like a statue in a sense. I'm here, great, I'm at right wing back, but how about a diagonal run into the box?
I know, get everything you're saying there. And then, like you said before that, an individual error comes up and the Reds fall off. And then it's pointless. Doesn't matter who plays. Honestly, I really don't care, mate. Right now, I know none of the players, no matter what formation or what system he wants to play, are good enough to beat Liverpool. Yeah. So just go with what you want to work on, Amorim. Put the players in that you trust and try and get some information across to them and see how it goes. See if you can cling on to something that happens in this game or in a certain spell, and then jump onto it and use it as your springboard. That's literally where we're at. It's like we're training in Premier League games right now. It's embarrassing. It really is.
You know what? It really is like that. You know what? That's the perfect way to probably end it as well. It really is like a training session on the field, trying to defend these corners, trying to work out where to be in corners, trying to work out to be where on the pitch, and then a situation comes up front. My last part is I'm actually playing Xerxes over Højlund. I've had enough of Højlund's crap. I'm sorry. I think he's got raw ability there, but at the same time, falling all over the pitch, wrestling too much. His runs are suspect. I don't know. You'd think he's better in a more of a transitional side if you're going to play that way. But where sometimes we got a lot of the ball, I just don't think he suits it. I think where our midfield is so questionable, I am only going to go off two receipts. Southampton, which isn't a great one. And then also Everton, when he changed it to more of a false nine, we saw more complete domination in that second half anyways. And I think that would help us more.
You know what's even scary, mate? There's another one. Like Bruno's probably our best 9.
Oh, you know what? I would. Then we're gonna have to put Eriksen in the 10.
Honestly, like there were options there, aren't there? Like false 9 Bruno, just play him up there. That way, he's not going to give the ball away. He's not going to cause us any damage defensively because of his crazy passes. You may actually utilize him better in a 9 than you will anywhere else on the pitch, because he gets himself in these positions. And you know what? Sometimes you just want to play to just hit it, don't you, as a number 9? Start dilly-dallying on it. Bruno may just hit the ball. It may just go in. Like, if you're going to squeeze him in, just put him in the most sort of like undamaging position to the rest of the team that you can. Play him at 9, and like you've got Højlund better as an impact player.
I think that's the issue. I think Xerxes and Højlund's better when they have cameos.
Impact players.
That's the issue. Yeah.
And do you know what's even funnier, mate? We've not even mentioned Garnacho. That shows you where we're at right now as a team and as a club, doesn't it?
If we can get sold for some money, then yeah, but I don't see that happening. Maybe Atletico everyone pinpoints to Atletico. It's the easiest part. He's that kind of mold of player.
Yeah,
it's like
it came from there as well, didn't it?
Yeah. Do you look at him thinking, or do they look at him thinking, we need to reinforce ourselves for this title? That might be the only saving grace. They might do like a 40+10 kind of situation. Take it and run.
Yeah, no, I think anything's possible with Garnacho. I think they will sell him if the offer comes in. Even if it's with loan for obligation, I think they'll get rid of him. I think Amorim is that keen on having the right players in. I don't know about Garnacho. Something's definitely gone wrong with him. From what I've been told and what's happening, they would sell him tomorrow if the offer came in.
Funny how all the leaks have just stopped, isn't it? Coincidence? And we all know who's at. I know exactly who's at the spearhead of all of that, running that operation. Let's be real, but I'm not going to say his name.
Yep.
Anyways, big up, Adam.
Nice one, mate.
Next week, Friday, all of that. Saturday, Sunday. I don't even want to think about it. United ruin my weekend one way or another.
Yeah.
Make sure to everyone. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to Adam. You probably all subscribe to him at this moment, but there might be a few of you that don't. If you're a United fan, go check out his content. You might be surprised by how good the channel is, better than
might
certain
be
other
that man
ones.
that just gives you that therapy session you need every now and then.
There we go. I feel like I've just had one this whole video, to be fair. I feel like I've been convincing myself.
That's all we do, mate, United fans at the moment. That's all we do. We cling on to whatever we can. But now, cheers for having us on, mate. Absolute pleasure.
Nice one. In a bit, people.